and Andrew on your left. You may remember Willy from our deck building contest, and he took that down back in September. But I am pleased to let you know that by my side for the first time in a couple of videos is Mr. Steve McPullen. How does it feel to be back, sir?
Feels like home.
Yes, we have missed you greatly.
Yeah.
And the other thing you might notice as you're watching this video is, hey, that audio is crystal clear. I mean, just gorgeous, wouldn't you say?
I'd put it as almost scrumtulescent, maybe a step up scrumtapular, but still most excellent. Yeah.
Scrumtapular, that's the first time I've heard that. I like that. As most standard games start, we have both players coming in on a tapped land, and Willy is on a Naya brew it's kind of become a Dark Naya, or maybe a light Jund, but it's a 4-color deck. And Andrew coming in with the Ash Zealot. Steven, you had some thoughts on Ash Zealot. What do you think of this card?
Well, the double red for the casting cost a little bit prohibited a little bit, but a 2/2 haste first striker is not a bad thing. Plus, it kind of has a little bit of attack against the meta with all the junk reanimator, all the flashback spells. I mean, like, player casts a spell from a graveyard to take 3 damage. It's not anything to sneeze at. I am a little bit, the body, like, compared to Flint Hoof Boar, though, like, right there, it's a 3/3 already. I mean, like, I'm kind of happy to see that.
What cards would you sneeze at? I'm just curious. I just have to know.
I will write down a list and post at the end of this video.
Cards to be sneezed at. I'm excited to see. So double Dreadbore from Willy, but he does miss a land drop, and that could hurt him. Like I said, this deck was Naya originally. It was board sweepers and a lot of creatures. And while Willy was doing well with it, he was just losing games due to a lack of spot removal. So he's up that spot removal. I was on Jund and we were talking, and he's like, I think I need more removal, and so that's the direction he's gone. He's had a lot of success since. He ended up dropping 4-2 at the PTQ, but was 4-1 to start the day, and just got slowed down by an Esper control deck that eventually grounded out, but some good games there.
That's what Esper does best. So.
It is. Coming from a control player, what do you think of Esper? You were on Bant this weekend. What do you think of Bant versus Esper?
I'm a little bit torn between the two, actually. I mean, you gotta play your Sphinx's Revelation. You gotta play Supreme Verdict in this metagame. You just have to. The spot removal is nice, or it's kind of like a type. Do you want spot removal, or do you want life gain from Thragtusk? I mean, like, that's what it comes down to. And the Centaur Healer is nice for slowing down the early aggression, but I'm still kind of torn. I should have probably went. I wanted to try Prime Speaker Ban for the PTQ, but I instead went Ban Control, and I felt like it was a weaker Esper control in a sense. But Esper has just had so much more fine tuning. You can find so much more lists out there. So Esper might be the more powerful deck, but Bant is definitely nothing that you can just like brush to the side. It's still a super powerful deck.
Yeah, talking with our buddy Jay over there, he made a good point. We were sitting there looking down the top tables, and he's going, what am I going to play next? Which, by the way, really quick, talking about this game, Gore Clan Rampager is pretty gross.
Oh, yeah.
That card is really nasty as a combat trick. 4/4 and trample. And, hey, if you need it later, you have no threats. It's a body. That is a really intense card.
It's the ability. It's not a spell, so it's uncounterable pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness, that's a powerful effect.
It is, for sure. Back to what Jay was saying. Man, Willy really taking some life here. Not looking good for Willy. 20-3, 3 lands. But what Jay was saying as he looked down the top tables at the PTQ this last weekend, he goes, you know what? Pretty much you play green and you play white and you decide what else goes with it. And that was a good point. I mean, we had a lot of bans at the top tables. We had a lot of junk reanimator. We had like Prime Speaker.
Right.
Like basically all the decks looking down. Yeah, you had Naya, and you had like these basically these decks where you're just like, okay, what do you want to add to it? But it's green and white as your base, and not that that's true of every what am I trying to say? Every event that you might see results from, but I think it is a good point. Green and white are a powerful combo.
Oh, yeah.
So that was game one. it looks like Andrew took that one pretty soundly, and Willie just sat there waiting for land.
Yeah.
And let's go to game 2 and see how that went.